You're Sperp back with another video, and I just got done watching the brand new animated anime coming out of Netflix called Pluto. This is pretty much the reimagining of Astro Boy. Never really was tapped into the Astro Boy lore or nothing like that, so I couldn't tell you it was different from previous iterations. I just know that Astro Boy was a very influential character on a lot of different animations throughout the years, and Netflix wants to kind of adapt a darker take, and I'm all for it, man. And this was a very dope watch. Each episode was about 50 minutes to an hour, so 8 episodes. They pretty much gave you like a 24 episode anime. They just condensed it into 8 episodes, but I like this first episode. Very strong start where we have our first robot that is killed off, called Mont Blanc, and there's a bunch of these other robots that are just like him that are being targeted. Gesicht, he is kind of the investigator and the one character that we follow a lot throughout this first season. He kind of is trying to figure out what's going on, who is behind these killings. Is it somebody that's human or are they AI? And he comes across like this addict that was on this drug called Noid that kind of makes you do things erratically, and really interesting stuff going on with this. And the way that they kind of set up this world is robots and humans have pretty much been able to kind of coincide with one another, and they can experience the same things as humans. And you really get to see that with all these different interactions and all these different characters that get introduced throughout this first season. So, you got Giddish. I know I'm probably going to butcher his name, but he is starting to kind of get some of these memories, or these fractured memories that are coming back to him that play out later on in the series. And I just like the whole world building, how there's this war, and this is where Mont Blanc was from. There's others just like him. Like I said, they were like the 7 most powerful robots that man has created. So with this first episode, they really focused more on Giddish, his character, and him trying to figure out who done it. It's pretty much like a murder mystery. Then we flipped over to another storyline that has something to do with one of the 7, North number 2, and his interaction with a human character, where this guy named Duncan, he's this world famous composer, very narcissistic. He hates robots, he hates AI, he hates technology, until North number 2 wants to kind of learn piano. He doesn't want to be on the battlefield anymore, and these two just kind of bump heads. Not really they bump heads, but Duncan is just so against teaching him how to play piano. Eventually he starts to come around, and he's able to kind of experience life again. He's not so miserable, and AI isn't the be-all end-all for him. And then we finally kind of get our first glance of Adam, one of our main protagonists. But this whole first season really focuses on different perspectives. Adam is in here, but he's not in here a lot. He is a very pivotal, important character to the overall story. But what I like about this first season is we get to see the other 7 and their perspectives and how they view humanity, because they are robots, but they're the most human. And I like the quote that's also used. I forget exactly what episode and who said it, but they said that maybe the robots are evolving in their own way. And we see that even outside of the 7 of the people that are becoming more human. The AI that is more self-aware, that they can actually express feelings. They even have like adoption centers and stuff for robots. And we learn these different things from other characters out of the 7, like Brando, Hercules, Epison. I'm butchering their names because it's like my first time kind of just processing all this. He's kind of cool. He's pretty much looked at as the pacifist of all the groups, similar to like Adam, where Adam really never got too involved with human conflicts and stuff like that. Also, Adam has a sister that goes by the name of Uran. She can kind of sense humans and animals and how they're feeling as far as like emotions or if they're scared. She's a really dope character. She saves plenty of people's lives in this. Really dope character. So pretty much there's this thing that is attacking the 7. They're targeting these 7 powerful robots, and the reasoning behind that is because of what happened between United States of Thracia and the Kingdom of Persia, where Kingdom of Persia were kind of looked at as like savages, terrorists, and whatnot, and Thracia pretty much kind of caused this BS war because they thought they had weapons of mass destruction. They were doing something that was against the laws as far as the robots go. And then one thing leads to the next, where you realize that the man that's behind all of this, his name is Abula. And he is the one that pretty much creates Pluto. And Pluto is kind of just like a front for this character named Sadat, which is like the remnants or the AI that he was kind of working on, and Pluto was kind of like the split personality. And there's this mention of this super genius AI or just doctor that helped Adula throughout this whole process, named Goji, which you get the reveal of who Goji is towards the end, that it's really like a split personality of Abula. I know I'm probably butchering his name, but he is a really interesting kind of villain because he lost his whole entire family during this whole war that happened, and he only had so much remained of his body. He just ended up turning himself into like a cyborg, which was really dope. And you know, as the story kind of progresses and we find out more and more what's really going on, we put more of the pieces together, the stakes are really high as well, where you see Adam actually die, you know, very early, like halfway through this series. And you see how people are dealing with that emotionally. Some people aren't giving up. Some people will give it their all, you know, just for the sake of humanity. Going back to the villains as well, they are very impressive because you never know who's on what side, what character's planning what. It definitely seems like they're setting something up with this evil teddy bear thing that's kind of talking. And also, there's this character that you see early on in the series, and also throughout the whole entire series that characters go back to, like on some Hannibal Lecter, is this character named Brow. And I'm curious to see exactly what they do with Brow and the evil teddy bear character that was not named, that was kind of pulling the strings to get rid of the 7 robots that can kind of like stop them from completing what they want to do. So the big ultimate goal, though, for the villain is to create this Pluto character to take out the 7, and then once the 7's done, they can bring out Bora, which this is the bigger overarching villain that comes out of this, that if it's able to be surfaced from where it's supposed to come out from, it's going to destroy the whole entire world, and everybody has to kind of stop that from happening. Overall, I really enjoyed this series. It's more so a character-driven story more than it is an action, like a story that's just based around its action. even though there are some really dope action sequences, I wish that we could have gotten a little bit more considering the runtime with a lot of these episodes. It's more action-packed during the second half. The first half is really just them trying to figure out who's behind what, and, you know, a lot of world building, a lot of introduction to characters and what their powers are, and how humans and robots can coincide, and how robots view humans. It's a lot of that, and I find that to be so fascinating. The most interesting thing about this series, the action aside, hopefully if there is a season 2, we will get a lot more of that, because I think this is a very, very well animated show. It really captures emotion. It's a really well written show as well, where there's just tons of layers with all of these different characters. And if you're into those AI versus humanity type of stories, I think this will be right up your alley. I do want to kind of get your thoughts. This is just my brief thoughts overall with this series. Hopefully there is a season 2, because I'll definitely want to check it out. But until next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.